Honestly, I really hate making this kind of video because I know I'm gonna forget stuff. There's just like so much pressure. The reason that I am making this video is because I was watching Jamie Page do hers and I was like, I want to do one. So I'm going to share with you my favorite products of 2020. I feel like I have a lot, and I also like really tried to distill them down because like I just want them to be the things. It's basically the stuff that like has come out over 2020 or has been introduced to me over 2020, and it stayed on my desk because I want to keep using them. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to start with. I guess I'm gonna start with face stuff. Just gonna drink my carrot smoothie real quick. The first thing that I want to start off with is the Rare Beauty foundation. I love this. I love it so much. I was pretty critical. Well, no, I really wasn't even that critical. And I love this from like the jump. So basically when I used it in my like Rare Beauty review video, I was I was critical of the packaging just because like it felt cheap to me and I didn't like the big ball thing. And then people were like, yeah, it was made with for people with Alzheimer's disease, like diseases basically that like make it difficult to open things. And then I saw other people saying like, no, that's not confirmed, that like people reached out to the brand and it was never confirmed. And so I'm just like, I don't know. Regardless, not a fan of the packaging in general. Doesn't matter because the foundation inside of it is stunning. It provided, I guess I'm not wearing it today. It provides the most beautiful, it's almost like a serum foundation if a serum foundation gave you enough coverage. You know what I mean? It feels good for you. Like when I put it down, it's like super liquidy, and it provided more coverage than I was expecting, but it still looks like my skin no matter what. I love this. I use this every single time I do my makeup. I just like, it's my absolute go-to. I don't know exactly if it's going to hold up over the summer because I do tend to get a little bit more like oily. But as far as a launch over 2020 and a product that I think is very much worth checking out, this is one that I would recommend to you. I absolutely love this foundation. And one of the things that's fantastic about it is the color range. She has really beautiful undertones. And you guys are probably sick of hearing me complain about being a fair olive person, but this color is so perfect for me. I'm actually not wearing it today, just so you guys know. But it is perfection for my skin tone. I absolutely love it. This is like my new favorite foundation. I use it every single day. So, Rare Beauty. Also, very quickly, thank you so much for all of the congratulations on my engagement. I'm not engaged. I thought that someone was saying congratulations on like your video engagement, like how many people were engaging with your content. And I said, thank you. This is literally just a little bee. It's a little bee from this brand called PD Paolo. And I've got some stuff over on this ring, on this finger, and it doesn't fit on any of my other fingers, so it's going there. That's it. Next up, very recent, but I've completely fallen in love with it. Patrick Starr's One Size Beauty Translucent Powder. Powder is not something that I like fall in love with, you know? It's not a product where I'm like, I don't really get excited to try a powder. When this was first sent to me, I was like, it's a setting powder, like whatever. But then I looked at the color and I was like, okay. So I tried it and I am obsessed with the formula. It is stunning. It's so finely milled and smooth and lightweight. It's not chalky. It's not, I would say if you apply too much, it can get a little bit dry, but like what powder doesn't, you know? I love it. And you know what? When I first used it, I criticized the little like opening, this thing. But you know what? It is actually quite nice to be able to just like dip your brush in there, like a little bit of your brush, and it gives you the right amount of powder. It's not too much. I'm actually quite happy with it. Yeah, and the color is like, the translucent color is so nice. It's not pink, which I feel like a lot of translucent powders tend to lean, so it works beautifully for my skin tone. I know he has other shades for various skin tones, which is nice. Formula's stunning. I can't tell you that I've used a setting powder that has blurred my skin so beautifully before this. So, love it. Recent launch, but fantastic. If you can get me excited about a powder, deserves to be in this video. Hey, what are you doing? Where did you get that? Ziva, she just stole this brush. You want it? Go get it. The amount of brushes that my cats have stolen. Fucking lunatic. Used, guys. We literally have so many concealers to cover because I couldn't pick one. I feel like so many of them rocked my world this year. So the first one that I want to talk about is the L'Oreal Infallible. If you watched my concealer videos this year, then you know that this was like mind-blowing. For a drugstore concealer, it was so full coverage. I was trying to basically find the best concealers, compare them for people. I have a bunch of those videos, and Tarte Shape Tape was my like OG, so I was kind of like using that as the benchmark for everything. This is so incredibly beautiful, very full coverage for a drugstore concealer, and they had really, really nice shade range. So L'Oreal Infallible is the first one. And if you are not trying to spend like $20 or more on a concealer, but you need something that's full coverage, I highly recommend this. It is unbelievable. Then, as far as drugstore goes, e.l.f. launched their their camo concealers, the hydrating camo concealer and then the original camo concealer. And I think I did that backwards. It doesn't matter. These are also very full coverage, really nice coverage. I would say not quite as full coverage as the L'Oreal, maybe a little bit more like medium to buildable, but these are beautiful. And I think they're like $5 or something. They're like super affordable. And I love them. I'm actually wearing the hydrating one today in the shade Light Ivory. The one critique, and the reason that I'm holding 3 fucking concealers, is the shade range is kind of strange. It's kind of difficult to find like the right color, especially if you're shopping online. And from what I've heard from you guys, the like original camo shade range and then the hydrating camo shade range, like it's not the same. It varies a lot, which made it really hard for people who like bought the original concealer and then wanted to try the hydrating concealer. They were like, wait, how do I find my shade? So that's the only critique. But as far as like full coverage, versatile concealers, I love when they come out with like a formula that's going to be a little bit more like matte versus dewy or hydrating. These are a really excellent option, and they are cheaper, I believe, than the Infallible. And then the last concealer, the Jouer, what is this called? Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. Now, I don't think that this launched in 2020. I genuinely think it launched earlier. And honestly, 2020 has been such a blur. I don't even remember what came out. But this concealer blew my mind in 2020. First time I used it, I was just like, what is happening right now? Like I put it down and the coverage just kept going. So if you are looking for a full coverage concealer, this is it. All right. The only critique that I received from some of you guys is that it can be a bit drying. It is a matte coverage for sure. I feel like most like very full coverage concealers do end up matte, but I'm telling you, you really don't need that much. Like literally the tiniest amount of concealer it's gonna cover your whole fucking face. All right, this stuff is unbelievable. Jouer, you done did it. The cat's in the litter box. All right, next is another relatively recent discovery for me, but it has completely changed my life. This is from a new brand. It's a Korean brand. They're new to the US market. I don't know if it's up yet or if it will be up soon, but I actually did a video, like a collaboration with them. This is their Pro Contour palette in the shade Mute Hazel. And once again, I know you guys are probably sick of me harping about my skin tone, but if you are, oh, I just stabbed the highlight. Fuck. So if you are my skin tone, and I know a lot of you guys watch me because you're like, it's so hard to find light olive things. This contour color has changed my life. Like, first of all, the formula of this palette is so incredibly beautiful. Like, literally it looks like a hue. It's like a wash of color. It blends so beautifully. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Look at that. It literally just looks like it's a part of my skin. Stunning. And it's the perfect light olive contour shade. The most perfect. I'm just like blown away by how perfect this color is. So this is definitely my favorite like contour palette for, I mean, it's specifically for my skin tone. Sorry if you're not my skin tone, but specifically for me, I just can't leave this out. It's absolutely beautiful. And you should, I mean, I highly recommend the brand in general. Their powders are like stunning, like absolutely stunningly beautiful. You can get them, they're available on Amazon. I'm gonna have everything that I talk about in this video linked down below so it's easy to find. But to all of my fair olive people, this is your contour palette. Highlight. Juvia's Place Clio. You guys, I talked about this so much this year. It's not something that launched this year, I don't believe, but it's something that was introduced to me this year. So they're the Nubian highlighters, and then this is in the shade Clio. The formula is so incredibly stunning. It's a loose highlight, and it's this really pretty like pale gold, almost vanilla color. And what I love about this formula is for a loose highlighter, it can be beaming, or it can be like really sheared out and just look like a really stunning glow on the skin. It's incredibly versatile, and it became my like go-to highlight this year. And I know a lot of you guys, like after seeing me use it in a lot of videos, you were like, I have to have that. And it really is like, I don't know how more people aren't talking about these highlighters, because it's like probably the best one that I've ever used. I just love products that are like versatile, you know? So I love that you can shear it out, that you can build it up. This is the highlight of 2020 in my opinion. Don't know when it actually launched, but highlight of 2020. I filmed the drugstore version of this look today, so that's why like I'm not wearing any of these products, just so you know. You guys, Queen Beauty, Queen Herbie's line. I talked about this in a few videos. Another highlight, this is Goldilocks, and this is so beautiful. I definitely talked about this in a few videos, but this is a cream highlight stick, and it's this like, so if I turn it like this, you can see this really nice kind of like rose, like warm rose base, but then when you look at the highlight, it's this like stunning gold shade, and it's just so incredibly flattering. And I think she has a couple colors, but the formula, what I really love about it is that it's not sticky at all. It's hydrating, but it's like it's like hydrating enough that you can really like blend it out onto the skin, but it literally looks like the most natural looking glow and sheen. It's a little, the color itself is a little bit dark for like just the tops of my cheekbones. So I like using it kind of just like all over my cheek, and it creates this really beautiful, I mean, just like literally a glow. When I look at it like this, I was like, oh, it's going to be so intense. Like it's going to be like metallic, but it's not. It's so natural looking. Like it's actually hard to make it look like too much, you know? It just kind of like melts into your skin. So incredibly beautiful. I love this so much. I think I will say my first critique of the brand itself is that the packaging is quite cheap, very plasticky, but the products are beautiful, and I highly recommend them, particularly this. So I use this all the time. Anytime I'm doing a face where I'm just using creams, this is my go-to. Yeah, I love it so much. Isn't that so pretty? Like, let's just look at that reflect. Keeping with creams, the Milani cream blushes. So this is the Cheek Kiss cream blush. It's a little confusing because I think they had some sticks that were cream blushes, and then they came out with these recently, like semi-recently, and I think they were only available on their website. This is in the shade Merlot Moment, and I did an entire tutorial that was inspired by this product. And what I love about it so much is it's very like creamy when you pick it up, and like relatively pigmented, you know, like that color, but you can like really blend it out and like really sheer it out, and it just blends so perfectly into the skin. Like, again, super versatile. In the video where I used this, I used it on my eyes, my cheeks. You can use it on your lip as just like a little bit of a stain. It's the same thing. Like when it comes to cream products, I don't want them to be wet. It's hydrating, but it's not wet. It doesn't just like sit on your skin. It kind of like, it's like the pigment blends into your skin. Yeah, look at that. Like it creates the most beautiful stain. It's absolutely perfect. I love it so much. This is my favorite cream blush formula it was funny because when I was watching Jamie's video, she included the Fenty cream blushes, and I was like, I like them, but I like this better. So this goes in the video. Highly recommend. You guys should definitely check it out if you are looking for cream blushes. Definitely my favorite launch of cream blush launch of 2020. Oh my god, you guys are gonna hate me. Let's do eye palettes. So, okay, I don't even remember what eye palettes launched this year, except for two, and they're both neutral palettes. So the first one is the Stone Cold Fox ColourPop palette. This, as soon as I saw it, I knew I was gonna love it. It's beautiful. It's cool toned, but not too cool toned. It's incredibly versatile. You have every shade that you need in here. You have all, I just stabbed myself in the face. You have all of the metallics. Like, are you kidding me? I did do a couple tutorials using this. This has been my go-to neutral palette, like in general. I just absolutely love all of the tones in it. I love the nuance in the palette. I think it's perfection. I think it's absolute perfection. I also just love the packaging. Is this like nude, cool toned nude, like pebbled. Actually, these palettes have a lot in common. Kind of pebbled, almost like snakeskin. You can't really see it, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm usually very bored when I receive neutral palettes. I'm always looking for color, but this year, apparently, all I wanted was neutral palettes. And this one was the first one where I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to use that. Like, I just look at it and I'm just like, I have everything I need in this. Everything I need. It's like a true taupe palette to me, you know? Lots of different nuance. The problem with ColourPop is that like shit sells out and then it goes away forever. I don't know if you can still get this thing, but if I can find it, I'll link it down below. And then the next one, relatively recent launch. In fact, just did a video with it, but I just am so blown away by it that I absolutely have to put it in this video, and it's the Vive Beauty palette. Vive Muse? Vive? So this is Jamie Genevieve's eyeshadow palette, which was launched very recently, so it is like new in 2020, but it literally, and if you watch that video then you know, it reawakened my love for smoke. I'm like so inspired by this palette. I don't know, it's kind of strange, it just resonated with me immediately. It's obviously, if you're comparing it to the Stone Cold Fox palette, it's all warm tones for the most part, with the exception of like, you know, the black and then this cool toned Lava Rock, but it just has, that's so much nicer. It's got a nice big mirror as well, but it's got everything that you need. And when you're looking at it, you're probably thinking like, that's just another warm neutrals palette. But what you don't understand is I see all the warm neutrals palettes, you guys. I see all of them all the time. So many. And I'm bored by them. But this one has so much nuance in it. Like the unique quality of Lava Rock, okay? The softness of that black. Oh, just that brick. Like I can't, all right? And then these shimmers, Carrot. I used Thea in that video, and then Glimmer. Like, oh, so beautiful. And what's really nice about these is that they, particularly Carrot and Thea, they really come to life when you use like a wet, like a setting spray or something, like if you wet your brush. So once again, you guys, versatile products. What I love so much about the mattes is that they blend effortlessly. Like they just blend. You hardly have to do anything. You can shear them out a lot, or you can really build up the pigment. They're not so pigmented that they're wet and heavy to use, because that is something that, like, particularly if you're a beginner, can be really difficult. So I just want you guys to know that I'm going to be using this a lot, and personally, if I had to choose one, I would say that this is the best eyeshadow palette of all of 2020. Just saying. Don't hate me. 2 neutrals. All right, lip products. Number 1 should be obvious. This wasn't launched in 2020, but it was, I believe, I discovered it in 2020, and it is the Lime Crime lip pencils, basically. But the shade Taupest is the most perfect shade of my entire life, and you've seen it in a bunch of different videos, and one of you recently told me that it was being discontinued, and I don't know if that's true or not, But then you said that there was a restock and I literally went and I bought 6. So I think I have 8 right now. And the thought of not having this anymore is so devastating to me. Like I realize that I have other lip liners that will probably work, but Lime Crime, please, I'm begging you. Do whatever you want. Don't get rid of Taupest. Please. It's so perfect. Because I love a cool toned nude and it's not too gray, not too purpley, not too nude, not warm. It's perfect. It is the perfect nude lip liner. I wear it all the time. It's my go-to. It works perfectly with my lips. I'm not wearing it today because again, I did that drugstore look. Please don't discontinue it. And if you are looking for, if you like feel like you can't find the correct nude lip liner because they're all way too warm or way too pink, I'm telling you guys, that is it. It is flawless. And the formula is really nice. It's also like, you know, traditional style pencil sharpen. Those are just, they're always better. It's creamy enough, but it's not too wet. Fucking great. It's fucking great. All right, next up. Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. I fell in love with this. This is in the shade Strapless. I'm pretty sure this was launched in 2020 because I think it was sent to me. I can't remember, but it's basically just it's a matte liquid lip color. Is that the most beautiful nude color that you've ever seen in your entire life? I have an answer for you. Yeah, it is. It's kind of sheer and it's super comfortable. It dries down matte, but it's not like a liquid lipstick, like an Anastasia liquid lipstick where it's like very heavy and just like pulls all of the moisture out of your lips. It's super comfortable and just incredibly flattering. And I just absolutely love this formula. As far as like, I think lip glosses, like drugstore lip glosses usually are just kind of like whatever. Like I don't really get excited about lip glosses, but when it comes to like a matte lip color, it's really hard to find ones that are very, very comfortable that will actually like last. And this is one of them. It's also the kind of product that like as it wears throughout the day, and you can kind of like see as I do this. Dude, honestly, like all of the products that I like are so similar. It's got like a similar vibe as that Milani blush. And it's just like, I love not too pigmented, not too sheer, not too wet, not too dry. Something that's going to like wear throughout the day. Like basically it's gonna come off, but it's going to leave a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you don't want it to be so heavy or thick or long lasting that as it wears, it comes off in patches. You want it to kind of like fade slowly. And that's definitely what this is. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And I think that you should check it out. And that color is just legit strapless. Last lip product, Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks. Blew my mind this year. So I believe that she launched lipsticks like a while ago, but I'm new to them. So, and she launched like new shades. So these are the Velvet Ribbon. Wait, were the Velvet Ribbon lipsticks new in 2020? I don't know all of the details, but these are the best lipstick I've ever used in my entire life. I did a video where I was like trying to help you guys pick your best red lip, where I wore Ribbon, and it is, first of all, Ribbon is just is literally the perfect red shade for any skin tone, anyone out there, from like incredibly fair, cool tone skin to super, super deep, warm undertone, like perfect. It's perfect for everyone. It's gonna look amazing on you. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. The formula is matte, but it's incredibly like, it's like it's super comfortable on the lips. It doesn't like dry down, but it is a very matte formula. And just look at that. It literally looks like velvet. The most flawless formula of a lipstick that I have ever seen. The colors that she launched are beautiful. I don't even know what else to say. They're not cheap, but you're seriously missing out if you don't pick up at least one. I like didn't care about bullet lipsticks until she launched these, like until I got this. And then I was like, well, it's all over. I fucking love bullet lipsticks now. Lashes. Number 1. this mascara. For some reason, I think this launched in 2019 because I remember going to the launch party for it, and it was for Ash K. Home, the makeup artist. But like, it could have been at the beginning of 2020, and honestly, I'm not gonna look it up. But I will say that all throughout 2020, I have been using this mascara on my bottom lashes. I've said before that I don't really get excited about mascaras. And the reason for that is because my upper lashes are very, very straight, super fine. So like, I typically end up either using a waterproof mascara on days when I don't want to wear lashes, or I end up wearing falsies if I'm doing like full face makeup. Can the plane stop? This mascara totally changed my lower lash game, because I feel like whenever I would wear falsies, it was really hard for me to balance that volume on my lower lash line. But you guys, and I don't even know how this works because it's a very thick, like clumpy looking wand. Like very thick and clumpy looking. Like you would think that this would be a mess on your lower lash line. But I'm telling you right now, this is the absolute best mascara for my lower lashes. It combs them out beautifully. It's super duper black. It thickens and lengthens, like it does everything. If you have lashes that hold a curl with most mascaras, or like your lashes aren't particularly straight, it's gonna be amazing on your upper lashes as well. But I've just been absolutely obsessed with it for my lower lashes. It is the Extrovert Extra Black Mascara, by the way. Fucking great. All right, and then for falsies, I really had to narrow it down, but basically any of the styles that Patrick Ta, did I call Patrick Star Patrick Ta earlier? I hope not. Basically any of the styles that Patrick Ta launched with House of Lashes. I am obsessed with all of them. This one is It's a Look, and they're literally my new favorite style of lashes. Like I wear them with absolutely everything. They're like long and fluffy enough that they're glam, but they're very natural. They're very natural looking. It's kind of like a Demi Wispy and an Iconic Light got together and got more fluffy and natural and flawless. Does that make sense? The best lashes of 2020, 100%. Thank you so much for coming out with these. They're my faves. Okay, so in a semi-recent video, I sort of criticized ColourPop for coming out with so many collections so often, and I maintain that opinion. However, their cream gel liners are so fucking amazing that they could come out with like 30 of them in every single collection, and I would be like, keep it up, keep going. I have all of them and I love them. They are the only eyeliners that I use now. I have like all these eyeliners from Marc Jacobs, from Makeup Forever, who else? House Labs, freaking just like everybody, you know? Pat McGrath. And I'm like, dude, fuck you guys. Cream gel liners from ColourPop. They are so nice because they are exactly that. They're creamy. So if you want to use them as like, I don't know, if you want to blend them, you absolutely can. They don't set too quickly so that you know, can go in and like work them with a brush if you want to, like do a little smoke. But for the most part, I use them in my waterline or on my lower lash line. You can use them in the inner corner. You can use them to like sketch out a wing. They're fantastic. I mean, the shade range is like unbelievable. You've got like every color that you could ever need. They also are very precise on the tips. And then as you use them, they tend to like go a little domed, but the pencil itself is quite thin. So it stays like, you know, pretty detailed, which is really nice. And they're ColourPops, they're affordable. Absolutely love them. They've got metallic, shimmer, matte, pastel, like super vibrant, like neon, and then, you know, just regular like browns and stuff. They are amazing, and they're my favorite thing that ColourPop makes. And I'm pretty sure they launched in 2020. They definitely like had a boom in 2020, and they're freaking great. All right, I have an honorable mention, sort of. This is a relatively recent discovery of mine, and I would just be remiss if I didn't add it to this video because it's completely changed my life. And I don't want to go too into detail because I'm actually going to try and reach out to them and see if they want to work together. I'm planning on doing like a fully in-depth video. Anyway, that's going to come They are the CO reusable wrinkle smoothing patches, you guys. No joke, these shits have changed my life, okay? They are basically silicone little patches, like, you know, eye patches that you would put on underneath your eyes. They're that, but they're just made of silicone. One side is smooth and the other side is sticky, and you stick them on, and you're supposed to leave them on for like a certain amount of time. And basically the way they work is they kind of like smooth out that area with the silicone, and they kind of just like trap hydration, and they like erase wrinkles. And I'm like, not fucking with you. So I have the eyes and smile lines ones. I just got these recently. I have been using them. And then I use this pack, which also has the forehead. This is for forehead, under eyes. This is for your neck. And then they also have like a lip one. So I think this is for like smile lines or under eyes, and then for like the tops of your lips. Anyway, I'm gonna talk more in depth about these, but they have completely changed my face, and I am keeping it vague intentionally. So you're gonna have to, I mean, you can do your own research and check these out on your own, but you're gonna have to wait for that in-depth video because I'm gonna tell you absolutely everything, but like, I couldn't not put them in this video. They're amazing. All right, guys. That's it for my best of 2020. Again, probably a shitload of stuff that I forgot, but I wanted to mention the things that like I just use all the time, that I've used all the time, or every single day, or consistently, since they launched in 2020, or since I discovered them in 2020. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what your faves are for 2020. I'm sick of saying 2020, and I can't wait to be out of this year. Yay! Thanks. I'm gonna go. My throat is literally dying.